Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jen. This is Bookmarked by Jen, and today we are going to do, I don't know, I don't really know how to do this intro. It's kind of like a mashup of a couple things. First off, I apologize for not having a video up last week. It might even be like 2 weeks now, but I'm just getting over a cold, I guess, like a head cold. It honestly, like, it knocked me on my ass for a few days. So obviously in that time frame did not feel up to creating a video. And then I just was like getting back on my feet. Now, the funny thing is you would think that in all that downtime that I had being sick, that and laid up in bed, I was just reading massive amounts of books. Not true at all. It was definitely all in my head. There was no reading. So that is one of the things that I'm here to talk about in this little mashup video, is the 2 books that I have finished so far this month. I know, only 2 books, but they were freaking bangers. So we will talk about that. And I am in the middle of a couple other books, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then I want to kind of go through what I've been thinking about as far as like structure for this channel in the next year, kind of switching some things up. Since I was laying in bed for almost a week, I did have a lot of time to think when I wasn't delirious and sleeping and taking naps. And I just feel, especially in the last couple months with having this awkward transition that I'm in, it's just certain things aren't working. And before I create any more content, I just kind of wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys, because it has been a minute and I have missed creating content for you. It's just only having finished 2 books didn't really warrant a mid-month wrap up, and also being sick, like I said, before I create any more content, because I do have some videos that are ready to film. My wrap-ups for the year, best books, maybe worst books, if you guys are interested in that. I feel a little weird talking about the worst books, but if that's something that you guys are interested in, I would absolutely be willing to do that. And then there are a few other things that I have in mind for the end of the year and the new year and everything like that. That is a long-winded intro. Let's just get into it. Let's chat. Let's have some fun, shall we? So first things first, I think that we should jump into the 2 books that I finished this month. And again, like I said, complete bangers. Immediately, I had to start off with The Lovely Return by Carrie and Cole. We've been waiting for this to come out for quite some time, and as soon as I heard that it dropped, it was like a no-brainer for me. I didn't even add it to my December TBR or the books that I had planned to read for the readathon that we're doing this month, because I just didn't know. We didn't have a finalized date. It's Carrie and Cole for one thing, and she just has this way of creating this world and these characters that really, they stay with you. They are a part of you. This was no exception. I did mention this in the written review that I did for this, and of course, no spoilers here. This is, and basically like all I knew about this book was it was an age gap and there was reincarnation. And I feel like if it would have been any other author, I might have probably shied away from this type of book. But because it was Carrie and Cole, I just knew that it was in good hands with her. So I had no qualms about picking it up. And let me tell you, there is a way that this could have been done completely wrong, because it is reincarnation, and there is this overlying question of, well, do you want me for me, or do you want me because of who I used to be? And how does that come into play? And I feel like that is touched on in the background, but it's done in such a way that I didn't have no doubts about where Penny and Alex ended up at the end of the book. But this is also a story where I feel like, okay, so a lot of people don't like or are not drawn to books where there is that really big age gap, but then we start out with them being super young, or there is no age gap, but you're starting out with your couple very, very young, and a lot of people don't like that. However, I feel like because of the circumstances of this book and the content, you had to start out where you did, and you had to go through the years that you did, because that underlying question that you have, it's being answered in all of these years that you're going through them. When we meet Penny, she is 6 years old. She is the reincarnated wife of Alex, who died tragically. And I mean, let me just tell you that right off the bat, 2% into the book, 3% into the book, I was already bawling. That's how that's what Carrie Cole does. Like, that's just what she does. This was just like, what did I just read, and how can you create this world? I feel like this book encompasses all the reasons why I am a reader and why I love to read so much. Penny and Alex's relationship from the beginning, it jaws you in. Now, yes, she's 6. He is 21 years older than her. There is nothing nefarious going on until she is of age. So please don't think that you can't pick this up and then you're going to be like disgusted if you do. We're good. We're good with that. But you see their relationship develop, and it is an unconventional friendship, because there is this familiarity with Penny from Alex and Alex from Penny. So you're seeing them navigate through this, but of course you know the truth as the reader, but they don't know the truth yet. And so you're just watching them navigate that. When you think that they're going to be together, she pulls the rug out from underneath you. There is some very painful and traumatic topics, but I also think Carrie Cole does that so well. She's done that a little bit with, like, every single book that I've read from her. There has been a little bit of a mental trigger. So definitely check trigger warnings, because there is a bit of, she really does get into you, like into your psyche, and she also deals with some mental issues with her characters as well. Be warned for that, but don't shy away because of those triggers, of the fact that it's reincarnation, of the fact that it is a big age gap if you're not into age gap. It is a beautifully written story. I think that she grasped the content very well. I think she told the story. I just don't know how else she could have told the story this well, because like I said, like, it could have been done and you could have wanted more or had doubts about things, and there's just, I'm amazed. It is a beautifully written book, and oh my god, it's definitely going to be in one of my tops for the year, so you will be seeing this book again. Obviously, 5 stars, like raving 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. So then let's quickly move on to the next book that I read, which is Silent Lies by Neva Altaj. This is the latest book. This is Drago and Sienna's book. Drago we've met, I think, like one other time. He was on a motorcycle, he's got the tats, he was a hot boss, she's very intriguing. And then Sienna, we definitely have met. We met her in Asia M. Paval's story. She is Asia's twin sister. Now, what I loved about this was Sienna in, I can't remember the name of that one of my favorites, but in that one, she seemed a little, like vapid almost, very shallow, very, materialistic. And Drago, we just, like, knew nothing about. We just knew, like, he was hardcore. Definitely giving off, like, Salvatore vibes or something like that. But again, Neva has been like a breakout author for me this year. This series has been absolutely amazing. The Perfectly Imperfect series. I've loved every single book. I've loved every single couple for all different reasons. It's going to be really hard for me to narrow down my favorites when it comes time for that, but I'm getting there with that. But anyway, so this is about Drago and Sienna. Something else I absolutely am mesmerized by is the way that she creates these characters, where you have a seemingly scarred hero, and they are typically scarred. You have one hero who is completely scarred. You have Roman, who has been in a horrible accident and is having problems with standing. We have Salvatore, who's got some, like, deep-seated mental issues. You know what I mean? Like, we have our heroes who are literally scarred and emotionally scarred, and then we have these very strong heroines. And very much the case here, Drago does have a disability. what I loved about this was the way that she has our hero have this disability that, like, I hate saying disability because it's like you are weakened somehow, or you're less than, like, he's less of a man because of this disability he has. But it is so far from the truth, because his disability as it is has made him the man that he is, and has made him stronger, has made him that much better as a leader, and has made him ruthless. Because let's not forget, like, these men are in the mafia, they are in organized crime. But you, as a reader, obviously do get to see the softer side of our heroes as well, which is always like a plus. And she pairs them so well with these heroines, and I feel like Sienna is the absolute perfect match for Drago. I think that the way that he thinks that she is, and then sees this side of her that she doesn't want anybody else to see. He sees through the bullshit, basically, and the way that these two come together, I just absolutely loved it. I want more of these. I can't get enough of these. I've said this before, how she jam packs so much information into such a small book too. I mean, they're less than 300 pages basically. I think this one might have been over 300, but like just over 300. But typically they're under 300 pages, and you're getting so much information. You are getting that insta love, which I typically hate. Like, I don't like insta love, but it's like yes and no, there isn't, because there is that push and pull. There is a little bit of, I don't want to say there's angst, because like how can you really get angst in such a short book? But there is a push and pull with our couples, which I really do appreciate. It's not completely, I don't know how she does it, but I love it. And this was definitely another 5 for me. it, they were just amazing. So that is it. That is all I've completed this month. I am listening to a book currently now. That one is, if I'm being honest, it's probably going to end up being like a 3, maybe a 3.5. It's good, but it's kind of fallen a bit short as I've progressed into that. And I also am in the middle of the 4th book in the Fallen Men series. I'm back with King and Cressida, which is just like visiting old family. So I've been enjoying that. And very soon I will be reading our buddy read for the month, which is The Christmas Blanket by Candy Steiner. It is a novella. I hope that you guys pick that up and join us. Let us know also, like, how you've been doing on your bingo board, if you're doing those. I think that I might post mine and just show you like the small amount that I've done so far, just to see if anybody else wants to do that over on Instagram, and maybe I'll post it here on the community tab as well. Okay, that's what I've read so far this month. Let's go ahead and talk structure. Let's go ahead and refocus the video, and let's talk about where I see this channel going for the foreseeable future and into the new year. It, of course, is still books. Books, books, books. That's what I love. But I just kind of like, let's just have a chat. Let's talk about why I'm thinking about changing the structure and like what that will look like. Of course, I would love nothing more than to get your feedback. Just let me know what you're thinking. Let's start some conversations about this, because I definitely want to put up content that you want to watch. I don't want to also put up just content that everybody else is putting up. It can be really hard to be different in this community because there are so many of us, and yes, there are different genres, and I do want to branch out a little bit with that, but I am predominantly in the romance genre. Like, that's what I like to read. So that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what my content is going to be about. But why I'm having problems is because, and I do want to preface this by saying, like, any pressure that I feel, it's pressure that I've put on myself. It's my self-doubts, it's my imposter syndrome, it's my, am I good enough? Like, it's all of that. It's all me. It has nothing to do with this community. I think this community is one of the best communities that I've been a part of in a very long time. But unlike a lot of booktubers, if you will, like, I will never be the booktuber that reads 30 plus books a month. I think in this year alone, 2023, the most books that I've read in a month has been like 15 or 17 books, which is like phenomenal for me, especially given my track record the last few months. I mean, I've read 2 books this month. Last book, I did well with 7 books. I'm never going to be that person that reads that many books. And to the people that do read that many books, like, freaking amazing. Kudos to you, and I love that. And that also enables to do so much more content because they are consuming so much. So again, to those who do that, absolutely amazing. It's just, I can't do that. I never will be able to do that. And I think there is a bit of pressure to read a lot because you are on booktube, your content is all about books, but I go through spurts, like I think a lot of people, where all I want to do is consume, and then there's sometimes where like my head just needs a break, or I want to pick up a book, but I just don't have like the energy to do that. I think that is where a lot of listening to books comes into play, because having somebody read that to you is sometimes my saving grace. But again, the amount of books that I read in a month is not ever going to get like up there. And I honestly am completely okay with that. That being said, that is kind of where the structure of how I do the content comes into play, because I think I've mentioned this before, but I have an entire Notion dedicated to booktube and planning, and I have in one of my pages just ideas of videos that I want to do, recommendation videos, basically just videos that I want to put together of, let's say, like certain trope recommendations or genres, or reading your recommendations, which I did a video of on at the very beginning of this year, and I really enjoyed doing that because I read your recommendations and then I got to tell you what I thought. The thing with that is because I don't read so much in a month, it would be really redundant for me to do a mid-month wrap-up or a monthly wrap-up video and then turn around and create a completely another video with 50 to 90% of the books that I just talked about on a wrap up in a recommendation video. And I don't want to do that. Like, I talk about certain books enough as it is. They're my favorite books. I'm never going to stop talking about, and because I want you guys to read those. I feel very passionate about these books. These books stay with me, and that is the whole point of this. But to just make every video be the same, I mean, like, that's boring for me to create, so I know that that's going to be boring for you. Therefore, I'm thinking of omitting monthly wrap-ups. In my head, I'm still working this out, so maybe you guys could help me with this as well, because again, I don't want to be redundant. Let's see, I don't have like my Notion right in front of me. I don't even know where my phone is, but I think like one of the recommendation videos I have is like my favorite Mafia books, favorite Mafia series books. What have I done already? I've done like age gap books, small town romances, teacher-student romances I've already done, but I would want to do, I have a lot of books on that list, and I want to do like a part 2 for that. What was another one that I had? I did the Daddies That We Love. I have more Daddies That We Love, like that kind of stuff. I guess it would be more along the lines of like more recommendation videos, but it would still be like books that I've recently read as well. Does that make any kind of sense? Because again, like I have these lists of videos that I want to do, but I take one of those recommendation videos and I'm like, okay, I have a list of 7 books here, but I've only read 2 of them. I need to read these 5. I don't want to read those 5. Do a mid-month wrap up for you, turn around, and then create another video of such and such trope recommendation video and talk about these 7 books, 5 of which I just talked about in my last video. Does that make any sense? So that is where I'm going with that, because I want to get these videos created. I just keep making these lists and everything, and then I never make them because I'm trying to, I don't know, I guess I'm trying to be a little bit diverse in my mid-month wrap-up, like not have all Mafia or all small town romance or all of one trope, but I can't create the other videos until it's a process. So that being said, like that is why I'm thinking it's just easier for me to omit the mid-month wrap up and create more videos that center around different videos where I'm recommending a certain trope or certain things that you want, or I've read the top 5 romances from Goodreads and this is what I think, something like that, you know what I mean? But then still have the option of doing a video of my recent reads or the last 5 books that I read, and here's what I think of each one, or maybe even incorporating some blog type videos into this year. That I would love to do, but honestly, because of the setup that I have, this setup that you obviously can't see, it is really hard to do a vlog style video on that. So I would have to use probably like my phone or something like that for that type of video. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm still brainstorming here, but that's what I'm thinking, because honestly, like the way things have been going, especially the last couple months, all I've been really putting out are wrap up videos. And that's just, even though it's fun to talk about these books, like that's just not all that I want to put out on this channel. I have so much more that I want to do. You know, I do the occasional tag video. I have always enjoyed watching tag videos. I enjoy making them. They're not the most popular on this channel, but I continue to make them because I enjoy them. That's where I see this going. It might change, but I just want to see like how that pans out, like what you guys like, what really works for this channel, because again, I'm creating content for me and for you, so just because I like it doesn't mean that you will, and I want you to enjoy it. I want you guys to come back. I want you to bring your friends. I want to create this awesome community. The community that we have right now, I love, and I'm so thankful for each and every single one of you, OGs, people that always comment on my videos. I see you, and I appreciate all of you. So that is where I am at with this. I do have some videos that I need to create before the end of the year, and then I will start to incorporate my head structure here. Hopefully that I can get it into a more concise plan. That's just what I'm thinking. So if you've stuck around this long, God bless you. I hope that everybody is having a great holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope that it is filled with love and laughter and family, and that you are just doing amazing. I cannot wait to see what we dredge up in 2024, but hopefully I will get at least one other video up before the first of the year. But yeah, I guess that's it. I will catch you on my next video. But until then, as always, happy reading and Merry Christmas. Bye.